you are only making your life worse. A lot of us in this modern day are insanely addicted to technology, are insanely addicted to social media, YouTube, Netflix, porn, all these different things. And overall, a lot of us feel kind of hopeless in this generation as well. And I believe it kind of goes hand in hand overall, because a lot of us understand that we should not be spending all this time on these apps. And it's easier said than done in a sense, isn't it? It's easier said than done that we feel that way, but we don't ever truly act on it. And overall, we need to understand that we are making our life worse in a sense if we spend too much time on these apps. We are making ourselves and our life overall a lot worse if we spend unbelievable time on these apps. And I was in this mindset before, literally less than a year ago, 6-7 months ago. I was in this mindset where I just constantly consume Instagram, constantly consume Snapchat, social media, all these different stories. And overall, a lot of it wouldn't better me. There'd be a lot of fucking bullshit in there that I didn't need. There'd be a lot of things in there that I didn't actually need to better me, didn't actually need to hear, didn't actually need in my life, didn't actually benefit me in any way. And I'm not saying cut out content that benefit you, cut out content that actually help you, but overall there's a lot of content in there that won't actually help you. And you need to realize that at a certain point, you're only making your life worse. You're not bettering you. You're not helping you. You're helping these companies. You're helping these people. You're helping me in a sense. Say if you're watching this video, you're helping me, and I'm grateful for that. Hopefully you get some value out of this video. But overall, you're helping these companies and these things to feel a little bit good now. But you're ultimately ruining yourself in the future. You're ultimately taking away from yourself in the future, because you may not be doing the best you can. You may not be bettering yourself. You may not be bettering how you feel about yourself, your mental health, meditation. You may not be expanding your mind, learning about new things. If you're learning and all them things, it's beautiful. It's beautiful in a sense. When you learn, say you use it to listen to audiobooks, listen to podcasts that help you, listen to people that help you, and you actually take something away from it. But if you are not actually learning from it or bettering yourself from it, overall, how much positivity are you getting out of it? How much positive are you getting out of it? And I know what you lot think I'm going to say, and it's not a lot. And I think you lot know deep down it's not a lot. And I don't want you lot to be in a position where you hate yourself in the future, where you hate who you are in the future, where you hate the person you became in the future because you spend too much time on these platforms, because you spend too much time not actually bettering you. And I've been in this trap. And now I understand the insane difference it makes when you start putting some of that effort that you've been spending on these apps, some of these effort you've been spending on these toxic apps that you don't actually need, and you put that into yourself, the benefit you truly get in the end. And it's kind of ironic because I'm on YouTube saying this. I'm on YouTube, but it's to get the message across. But overall, we need to understand that our time is insanely valuable. The things we do for ourselves on a daily basis is insanely valuable. Literally everything we do on a daily basis is insanely valuable for us in the future. And if we give into easy shit now, easy habits now, a lot of times it's going to lead to negative outcome in the future. It's going to lead to a negative outcome in the future. And overall, this is going to ruin us in a sense, because we're not going to be who we want to be, position we want to be, the person we want to be. And therefore, we're going to take it out on people, feel terrible about ourselves, and feel more worse than ourselves in a sense. But whereas if we started using that time to do positive things for ourselves, meditation, journaling, going for walks, working out, building something that you want to achieve, that's going to have a sensational effect on you in a sense, in comparison to you giving to these people constantly, giving to these apps constantly, giving to all these famous people constantly. And you may get a sense of enjoyment out of that. And all I'm saying is, if you do that too much, you're going to take away from yourself. You're going to make your life worse. You're going to actually hurt yourself in a sense, instead of bettering yourself in a sense. And at the end of the day, what do we want to do? And what do I want you to do with this channel? And what do I want for myself? I want us all to better ourselves and better our mind, better who we see ourselves as, better our situation, and better who we actually view ourselves as, in turn leading to a better and more positive life. But if we constantly consume things that don't help us, if we constantly consume a lot of these things that don't help us, we're going to absolutely ruin our future in a sense. We're not going to be positive and happy in our future in a sense, because we're going to feel like we wasted time. We're going to feel like we wasted our time. We're going to feel like, I could have done this thing. Oh, I wish I'd done this. And you're going to look back and you're going to think, why the fuck did I do that? Why didn't I spend some time on myself? Why didn't I spend time bettering myself? And as soon as you get on the grind of bettering yourself and bettering who you view yourself as, you see the growth that you've actually got in yourself, and you see how addicted and how addicting it gets trying to grow, trying to get better in situations and different things you're trying, and even in yourself. And that has a sensational effect on you. But if you constantly hold yourself as someone who literally always just consumes content and you can't break out of that, someone who's always looking at porn, someone who always on Instagram, on Snapchat, on Twitter, reading up people's opinions that may not actually help you, and you get to a period of time where you've done that for 6 months to a year, some people do it for years and years and don't even realize the negativity in that, you're gonna realize that you've left yourself behind, because the amount of hours you spent on them things, them apps, them different softwares, you could have spent it on yourself. You could have put into a business you want to achieve. You could have put into your mental health. You could have put into building a better body. You could have put into understanding diet, understanding your mind, understanding how to run a better business, understanding how to be a better person. All these different things you could have put into getting out, walking, getting in better shape. There's a lot of things you could have put into, but instead you put it into these companies. You put it into this influencer you like, and in turn you made their pockets bigger. But you've took away from yourself and made yourself feel worse. And your mind's overstimulated, therefore you can't think as clearly. And you are overstimulated, therefore you can't make the right decisions for you, because you're so easily distracted now. Because there's so many things going on when you go on social media and all this. There's so many different things going on. There's so many different, literal different things going on that your brain struggles to actually understand everything that's going on. Therefore your mind to be on things that have happened on them apps that you didn't even necessarily think about, and then it pop up in your mind and you think about that, think about that, think about that, and your mind's just over-consumed. Therefore you can't think about normal things, you can't think about things you want to do, the person you want to be. And that's why taking time away from social media is such a positive thing, because then you have time for yourself and you understand what you can actually do with that time, in a sense, and building yourself, building who you want to be, building where you want to be, in a sense. And that has a beautiful effect on you. But if you constantly spend time on these apps, constantly spend time giving to these people who don't even care about you, don't even know about you, and you ruin yourself in the process, therefore taking away a lot of time you spent on these apps, giving it to them, not giving it to yourself, not bettering yourself, not helping yourself. How do you think that's going to affect you in the future? How many hours do you think you're going to waste in the future when you spend how many hours in a week on social media? Let's say you spend 3-4 hours, let's say 4 hours a day on social media. Let's say you spend 4 hours a day on social media. That'd be 28 hours a week you spend overall on social media. 24 hours, 28 hours, 28 hours you spent on social media. How crazy is that? How crazy is that when you put it into that perspective? And imagine you times that by the amount of weeks there is in a year. Imagine you times that by 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. Imagine how much time you would have wasted that you could have even spent with your family. You could have even spent with your loved ones. You could have even spent on yourself. You could have even bettered yourself. You could have put that into a business. You could have put that into yourself. Imagine that. Imagine that. And the value in this video I want you lot to get is understand that you might just be making yourself worse and hurting yourself more in the future if you spend too much time on these apps and spend too much time on these things. And we don't want that, do we? We want to better ourselves. And just keep this in mind when you're spending time on these apps. It's all right every now and again. It's all right to give in every now and again to things, don't get me wrong. But just don't do it too much, all right? And don't take away from yourself. And that's the message in this video. I hope you lot got a lot of value in this video. Like, comment and subscribe. Thank you for all the love recently. It means the world to me. Thank you.